Welcome, Final Fantasy Randomizer fans, to this final match of a round of 32 between Syraniss and fcoughlin. I am Thavian Hawk, joined in the booth by Classic Gamer 76 with our restreamer and tracker ADR. Classic Gamer, what do you think of this four-force party that they have selected?
I think they got kind of lucky with the RNG's choices there because Fighter Thief White Black is a pretty solid party, although given the party member's name, I'm wondering if fcoughlin might be considering a Fighter White Mage run.
Yeah, Dan and Dan 2 is pretty indicative of that kind of play. And here we go. We'll get through the blessings and packs as we go. Looks like Syraniss checking out White Magic. Pure Life in White Magic, that helps. Black Magic, we have Lock to Fire 2, so they at least have a sleeper and something to deal with some evasiveness to get going.
Yes. Speaking of evasiveness, for our blessings, that fighter has plus 15 agility and wood adept, so if they find that wood equipment, that'll be nice. As a Malice, minus 10 hit percent. That's not great, but it's not terrible. Thief went by the Canary Bank and did an unofficial withdrawal, has plus 800 GP and plus 20 vitality, but minus 5 luck, so won't be able to quite run as early. Black Belt, if we see one, has a plus 20 HP bonus and a plus 5 luck. A mouse of minus 10 strength, who cares? The Red Mage, bonus of plus 10 hit percent, plus 2 level 1 MP. It loses a little agility, minus 10 agility. White Mage, bonus Chromo Fighter armor and 20 MDef at the cost of minus 1 MDef per level. Black Mage, 40 more HP, 20 more strength on a non-melee character. Malice, no ribbon, so the Black Mage will be just a bit more fragile than usual.
Well, as far as the Wood Adept goes, they did get that sword, or that wood shield out of the armor in Canary, and they got a Bane sword as far as their caster weapon. Or caster item at the start. We got fcoughlin first coming in to deal with Garland, getting a quick kill on Garland, and we're about to see what the Royals have for us.
Yep. A Banesword roll +1, that could be an okay weapon after promotion. Let's see, we have Floater from the King.
Did Fizzlebeef roll this seed? Because I remember Danny's race last night having first item Floater.
I don't know who rolled this seed. I mean, I've seen all sorts of seeds from Fizzle this tournament.
Well, either way, that is a first item Floater with the cube that gives us 3 items to get access to to the additional dungeons we need: the Rod, the Oxyale, and the Chime. We only need 2 of those items because they already have Volcano Avail for them to get their 3 needed orbs. Outside of that, it is the key and the loot we are always looking for. How do you think things are going to go here? It looks like fcoughlin is going to Provoca, which is quite logical given how much money they have now, and just their order of going to the right and south to get that floater turned in.
Yes, I think Provoca is the logical play. Could see them maybe checking Matoya, but, you know, she's a little bit out of the way, and what are the odds of her having anything in her chest? Not that great.
Yeah, that Matoya check... Here? That Matoya check is more relevant in seeds where they have potential random loose incentive items, but for the moment, if they don't have a lack of gold, it's pretty much irrelevant.
Yes, and if fcoughlin takes down the pirates, we will see what Bicky has for us. He has the Canal.
That is a womp womp, but it is at least some experience for the grind.
Yes. And let's see. Houses, not too bad, about 1,000 gold.
There's the wood armor, so that's 1 wood helm away from the full evasion set for that knight.
Also have the silver bracelets -1. Not great, but, you know, not terrible for your mages or your thieves at this point. See what White has for us. Fade and Heal 2 and Wall.
That is a stacked White Magic. As for Black Magic, it looks like we're going to have Fire 3 and Quad X in there.
Yes, and Lock. We had Lock 2 at level 1, so it's always nice to see both the Lock spells at low levels.
With with that Fire 3, we now have a pretty potent thing to deal with packs of enemies, as long as they're not water.
Yes, of course. The unfortunate part about that is they have to go through the river system to get down to that floor, and of course that's where they're going to go right off. They might stop by Crescent just to, see what the item is, but they're probably going to pretty much head straight toward the Ryukon Desert and get in the air.
Getting the air up front, it's easy to go straight up, check Crescent, and then up and to the right to go ahead and get that quick check with the Hermit on the peninsula.
Alright, Syraniss.
Yes, I forgot his name.
Yeah. Sarda was his name. Of course, Syraniss almost forgot to check the item shop. And we have Pro Wing +4 for sale in Crescent, not to mention Chain Armor +5.
If they weren't going for that wood armor on that knight, that chain armor is a pretty dang good deal for value. And that is Warp in Black 6.
That Warp would not be Red Mage or Red Wizard learnable if we have it. Also, worth noting, we did have Brack at level 6, so
And the
it's a
rod
little high
coming out
level,
of
but the
these,
Brack tracks are on the table.
we've got the rod coming out of the sages. That gives us access to our second dungeon, the Earth Cave.
Earth Cave can be a fairly quick check if you don't go for any chests. However, the odds of something rolling nasty are somewhere around 99.9%.
Yeah, the biggest problem with Earth Cave, the levels of the enemies aren't that high, but you get large packs, and they're very annoying when the randomizer gives them really nice spells. And that is the Adamant, so we've got another quest chain to follow up from Sarda.
We'll see what the dwarves have today. Who thinks we might have some lazy dwarves? Always
Here's
on the table.
And we've got a divergence here. Instead of going to Sarda, fcoughlin went straight to Elflin to check out that magic, finding Ice 3, Lit 3, and Fast at level 3 Black.
Yes, those are some very solid spells there.
White magic, not so happy.
Yeah, not much there.
And Slab coming out of the Adamant, so no lazy dwarfs, but we've got the airship, and we're right near Melman, so it'd be an easy job to translate that. But it looks like Syraniss is going to pick up magic in Elfland as well.
I saw Zap and not much else at level 4, although... You seen White level 4 yet?
That is the bottle. I do not believe if he did stop in White level 4, but we got a bottle for about 1,400 gold. Or 1,000 gold.
Right, so they need a little money for that, so... Question is, find the vendor item like that, and you need a little money, and here's White level 4, and... Hello, Exit.
Very nice to have, and fcoughlin picking up that helm, so they now have... At least fcoughlin has it, the full wood armor set. That is an extremely dodgy warrior.
Yep, and with Wall, we don't need to worry about the ribbon so much.
fcoughlin about to go and get his slab out of, or his adamant out of Sarda, I should say.
This is kind of interesting. A little money. Do you maybe check out the Volcano Armory or something somewhere like that?
The volcano might not be a bad place to go. Syraniss looks like he's probably going to check out the incentive item in Cardia. Yep, he's taking the Forest Island shortcut. I was just a little bit confused on where to park there. This Forest Island is faster to get to and get to this chest with the incentive item, which appears to be the Oxy Ale, than going all the way down to Bahamut's Horde.
Yep, and that's our Axial, so that gives us access to one more Fiend Dungeon, so Syraniss, has everything he needs to get the 3 orbs. For those who are not familiar with this flag set in this brackets, we have been running, hello level 5 Nuke, where we only need 3 orbs to unlock the black orb, and it could be any 3.
Well, fcoughlin checking out that magic, seeing the level 5 nuke, the level 5 cure 4, and then Viz 2 as well, in slots 3 and 4 there, as Syraniss going to check Waterfall, and then saying, wait, I probably should check in Onrak for something, maybe get houses if he can.
Unfortunately, no houses are for sale in Onrak.
slab translated, fcoughlin has gone down and is now going to get his Oxyale out of the Cardi Isles.
Interesting people like Syraniss, he didn't see houses or whatever he was looking for in Onrak. I believe he saw the vendor item, so...
Yes, he did. Did he check that fourth chest on the left that fcoughlin just did? Because I believe those fire armor +1 be useful if they promote for that ninja.
Yes, useful for the fighter now, and the white mage, of course, has promo fighter armor, so she could wear that too.
Very true. fcoughlin, even though he's got the slab translated, he's not going straight down to Lefane. It looks like he's going to take the marsh play and hope that the boat's not there.
He's also probably hoping to get some money here so that he can grab that bottle and then just do the bottle and Lefane all in one trip and never have to go back to that area of the world again.
Very true. Syraniss wiping out on his way to the caravan there, but resetting, getting back there, picking up 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 houses.
Yep. Soft numb enchant. If I knew I needed money, I'd hit the Han too. And that's actually a very good point. I was wondering if you wouldn't make the play for the full Dragon's Hoard just because, you know, dragons love their gold.
It is on brand for a dragon to hoard.
Yes, indeed it is. If Goblin get a little money out of Marsh here, so that will help him towards that. Well, 34 won't, but
so far only money. Yeah, I doubt he'll put that fighter or that fire +1 on anything that is the knight or that black mage because, or is it the white mage? Either way, or the white mage because the that taking that armor or that wood armor off is gonna break the kit for the evasion gains.
Yes, that is very true. But both the thief and the white mage will be able to wear that after promotion.
Now this is an interesting spike tile to find here in Marsh because if you get enough of those whiz mummies and neither of those or none of those come up with some crazy nuke or bane or insta death kill, that is an excellent early game grind, especially since they have black magic that's fire based, and there's the womp womp of the ship.
Yep. But still, I mean, it's a little more experience, and he's got money, and he's found a good grind tile potentially.
Most definitely, it appears he is taking it.
Yep. And Syraniss is going through Waterfall, seeing what he can find. Found the Gas Dragon, which is some pretty good experience, but it appears to be a little chunky, and it doesn't want to eat fades and ice 3s.
Almost taking out that black mage there as fcoughlin wipes out another pack of his mummies, going up to level 11. They're both at level 11. This is a pretty balanced on experience so far. And that is the good eye in Ice Cave. You can grind that up. They have exit if they picked it up already and can get out of there pretty quick if they keep the white magic caster up.
Yes, that's if. And we have the key from the robot, so Waterfall is required. That gives us access to the incentive in Canaria Lock, and of course we need the key to get through Topher.
Depending on how Syraniss is feeling, he might just go ahead and grind up to level 15 or more across his party and either gan off some people to get more experience focused on that fighter or however he wants to do it, because this is a safe grind as long as he stays on these bottom tiles or goes in and out of the door to get the encounter.
Yes, of course. If he just takes up just the fighter, could be a little dangerous getting out. It would be a little bit of a gamble there, because Waterfall can have some nasty stuff.
Very true, but that is also a thin eye. If Quadex can take down an eye, it's usually doable to solo it at level 20 or more on almost any melee character.
Syraniss is continuing his grind. fcoughlin stopping by Melmond, getting a few things done. It looks like he's going to look to Earth and see if he can find some grind tiles.
Most likely checking for these 2 tiles here in the Hall of Giants. Zombies, completely worthless. And what else do we have here? Yeah, nothing there to grind. Syraniss backing out with that exit spell, getting out of Marsh, or was it Warp? I didn't see which one. Taking his levels and stopping in Onrak. He might just dive C. He's got some experience, he's got some levels, he's here, so yeah.
Yep. And he's got an evasive fighter so that can just dodge Kraken all day until he crits.
Always a possibility.
If Coughlin, not in the grind titles now, but diving into Earth, of course, we've seen the Eye and the Mummy, Whiz Mummy pack. We've seen some of the really good grinds already. There's a black shirt.
Not a bad caster item for other dungeons, but there's more likely to be something fire will have an effect on in here. Ooh, those are red sahags with heat, and they come in large packs, so it's a good thing to get away from that. It's not cremate, but it's still painful.
Yes, and of course they have heat, they have a script, so what's after heat is the question.
Another thing with Syraniss' options here is he's going into a very chest, or at least incentivized chest-heavy area of the map, or of the game. He can pick up, I believe, 2 better trap treasures at least here in the Sharknado room, or Sharknado floor.
Yep, at ADR in chat, making a good point. At least it is an opening with Nuke. Yes. Now, when things open with Nuke, that's when things get ugly.
Ooh, that is a ribbon out of the Sharknado chest. Extremely valuable to find. They haven't found the incentive ribbon yet, so far that is the only ribbon either of these players have gotten. It's Ice 1 shield for fcoughlin out of that better trap treasure chest right before the vampire.
Yes, that's another thing that the thief or white mage will be able to use after promotion, because they're going to definitely go with Wood Adept on that fighter.
Anything that they can put on that can supplement that -1 MDef on that white mage is definitely welcomed.
Yes. And ribbons are always welcome no matter what.
fcoughlin pulling a dragon armor +1 out of the armor, and an Excalibur that rolled down to -3.
Yeah.
Not a horrible pickup from the armory, but not the nicest thing to see with that Excalibur.
Especially with the fighter losing 10% on his hit, that Excal is really not going to be as effective as it is some seeds. Of course, we have no Masa in this flag set. We do have the incentive Vorpal, though, which can roll anywhere from great to garbage.
Picklesbeer, I do agree, depending on how things roll out, that elemental damage buff of the Excalibur can still be pretty dang potent across the majority of Topher. But we are so far so short into this seed. There's a lot that they can find. Maybe a high roll defense sword or sun sword that could be equally viable as an endgame weapon.
Soft on to pick Tenzan Katana Vorpal. I completely agree. And of course, they have to actually find the katanas, because there are 2 katanas out there, but where, you don't know. Of course, the Vorpal being incentivized, that's easier to find, but say you could roll anywhere from great to garbage. And I do agree with Hate as well. It will, even at -3, that Excal will do work through most of Topher with that elemental bonus. And
as a speed pump, it's brought up by fcoughlin. We got Syraniss. He's trying to use that Bane sword up until that thief died to get a quick kill on Kraken. In the end, it just took cast and swings with the rest of his party to take it out, and simultaneously they're Kraken down, speed bump out of the way. Both racers have their first orb lit.
fcoughlin heading over, looks like he is heading into either volcano or ice. He is heading towards neither one. He's headed towards Elfland, I guess.
Possibly looking for Kid or looking for that bottle.
Yeah, I think he wants to pick up that bottle.
I would not doubt Syraniss is also heading that way. Nope, Syraniss is about to find a boat.
Yep, he's going to get the news that Marsh isn't required and you did it anyway. But he's also going to find that nice grind tile.
Quite true. He has not seen, at least we haven't been able to see him see any good grind tiles thus far. Oh, what am I talking about? He found the eye. This will be an okay team grind, but if the eye is pretty easy to get back to if he wants to solo grind it. He probably wants to wait until he's promoted to do that. That was life 2, I believe, in Onrak? Or Gaia, I should say.
Yes, it was. Not much in black, though. We just had lightning and sleep, too.
Not skipping that level 8. Not horrible white magic there. Heal 3, cure 3, and harm 4. But guess we'll just not really get those. And a herb coming out of the fairy. That is our another fetch quest to get taken care of. And then the ship for the Womp Womp out of Syraniss is dive into marsh.
Yeah, but he doesn't hang around to grind on the Wiz Mummies and Mummy. He knows about the eye, so that's probably enough. Fcoughlin, though, is heading over to Ordeals.
Yep, as Syraniss is checking the armory. Oh, native 2 gold. That is not that good worth the money-wise. And then getting his translation on the slab, he might just pick up that Lefane quest chain.
Yep, and now he's finding grabbing Cure 4 and Invis 2.
Both of which are premium spells.
Yes, and Arab there isn't bad either, because even though it's like it resists death, both in this and later games, it actually also resists earth and status.
Interesting weirdness of the game. Syraniss, with that key, he has got an advantage of this quick check in Canaria locked. He also has access to Northwest Castle, Dwarven Armory, and there's a katana rolled neutral.
Yep, the neutral katana is still pretty strong, and there's the crystal in the Canaria Armory.
It's about as good a fetch quest item as you can get from there, because it's a straight northern hop.
There are chaos throughout Crack. In my game 2 yesterday, my Arab would have looked so big-brained. Well, of course, in vanilla, he leads off with Crack, so...
And that is the incentive ribbon out of Matoya, so Syraniss now has 2 ribbons for his party. He is not unhappy to see that. He got the katana, so when he promotes, that ninja has something very, very excellent to swing. And it looks like he is also going to... Well, no, he's swinging up to go to ice. He knows that there's nothing that he doesn't necessarily want down there.
Fire or ice? He's going ice.
I do not blame him. If this turns out to be the tail, he's got kit that's worth being promoted for. And if it's not the tail, it could be the loot, which would be go mode for him.
Yep, well, it's not going to be the tail because we have a vanilla tail, so it looks like this is probably going to be the loot, like you said.
The loot or something that leads to the loot. We know that the bottle is already in the shop item. That leads, it's on its own quest chain to the herb.
We haven't seen the crown yet, so I think it'd be crown to loot in all likelihood or something like that.
Very true. It could also be the chime, which gives us access to sky.
Yep. Or the ruby, of course, gives us access to the Titan incentive, so...
We've seen very precious little of this seed so far, but both our races are making good time, getting a good number of checks taken care of. Neither have had that much difficulty, save one overworld wipe for Syraniss, but was trying to get some houses in the desert.
Croquet +4 out of that chest in Ice Cave, so that's pretty good for mages and thieves as well.
It's the nearest thing to a shield they can normally equip. Syraniss finding that same zombie pack again, this time in Ice Cave 2 box.
We have Fcoughlin going to boldly raid the chest right in front of Bahamut, proving his courage, and he holds up a sneaking rat tail to also prove his courage.
That opal bonk is solid armor upgrade until he finds the power bonk, if he so chooses to replace it. And now that black shirt can be put on, as well as the dragon armor, his kit is very resilient for the rest of his party now.
So he's not going to go with the Wood Adept, at least for right now. He's actually going to go with armoring up normally, which I don't hate this because, you know, the dragon armor has those fire, ice, and lightning resistances.
he is going for the proper tank build on that, and I don't blame him. Dodge tank is what that ninja, his Dan 2, is really meant for. So if he's going to put it there, he's got it. And that is an Aegis +2 out of that 6-pack in ice for Syraniss, as fcoughlin is heading towards Waterfall and Sea Shrine.
Or not.
This is interesting.
Yep, he went there, must have thought of something he wanted to do. Has he been to Lefane yet?
No, he is not. Neither of our runners have been to Lefane just yet.
Well, that is about to change, because fcoughlin has landed, and I like doing this after promotion, because you have the Lefane Superstore in these flags. You'll stack up on your magic, and with another Pro K +4 in ice. So, ice provides some chilly capes, and there's a ruby out of ice.
Gemstone out of the ice cave. And that is a red stake with Scorch for fcoughlin on his way down to Lefane.
That is a fiery stake for sure. Syraniss feeds the Titan his ruby. Let's see what we're going to have in there.
So that is a very valuable ruby, because not only did it turn into some boomstick, which is more fetch quest, he just got the white shirt +2 out of that Titan strobe.
Yes, you always love to see the white shirt. Even if you don't have a white mage, you get the free Invis 2 cast, which can be a real lifesaver.
Quite literally.
Yes. What do the Lefanians have for us today? Vorpal +3, so that is something the knight can swing.
And for lack of the katana, that's something that ninja can swing on fcoghlin's side until he finds it.
Yes, we know where there's one katana, but fcoughlin hasn't seen it yet. Flame +3 sword isn't too bad either.
Neither is that opal +2 armor. I mean, second only to the dragon armor, it's the best defensive gear that Syraniss could put on that knight if he so chose.
Coughlin picking up X-Fur from the looks of it. I always like X-Fur.
And we got the crown out of that turn-in for TNT, which he is now turning into something from there. I did not catch what he had behind Astos. Well, that is the loot behind Astos, apparently, from Sofnum, which means that puts Syraniss in full-on goal mode. Tail or no.
Yeah, so the question is, will he look for it to pick it up? Because at this point, he probably knows that it's either bottle or something from the bottle, or that it's going to be in Ordeals. Which we know it's Ordeals, of course.
At this point, if he goes for Ordeals and then immediately bounces towards that on-route continent to solo grind on that eye, I would not be shocked. But it really comes down to if he remembers where the bottle is and or chooses. I could see him picking up the bottle, doing the bottle turn-in and the Lefane turn-in in a row, and then going from there. Just using it as a proximity order.
Yes, because you don't have anything. We have the Flame +3 sword, which is definitely a serviceable in-game weapon, but we don't have anything spectacular that can be used pre-promotion as far as weapons go.
That is very true. Most of the good equipment we have for these parties is endgame equipment post-promotion.
You're just stacking up on a few houses. And remember those pro rings +4.
Even picking up that gold -2. Expensive, but if it's an upgrade, it's an upgrade. As fcoughlin hops over from Crescent and is going down to whack himself a snake lady.
Yep, he is first, of course, going to check a few chests. It can't hurt to find a little more gear. Of course, he would probably want to find the katana because he hasn't. Of course, we know where one is, but
there are 2 in the world. He also wouldn't mind finding a good grind. He found those mummies, but they're really more of a value in the early game. That flute, or that frost dragon could be okay, but again, that's more of an early game level grind for a solo player or character.
Syraniss heading back to Elfland. Looks like he's going to...
This is most likely the bottle pickup.
Yep, he's going to pick up the bottle, so he's going to find his herb. The question is, once he gets the bottle and does the herb, does he think he chances ordeals, or does he just go back straight to Elfland and turn in his herb?
That is a good question. Honestly, the route to Elfland isn't that far out of the way to bounce back south to ordeals. If he pulls the luck, gets this herb check, goes to Lefane, and then from Lefane hits up ordeals before Elfland, I see that as his best case scenario as far as routing what he has now and then chasing it down. I don't know. I'm not Syraniss. I don't know what's in his head. I can just see what he does.
Of course, Syraniss now picks up his rather soggy herb, but herbs don't need to be dry to wake up elf princes. Drop the wet herb in his face and he'll wake up.
Well, he is, you can just call it smelling salts at that point. He is going straight to check that herb. He isn't going to Lefane or ordeals just yet.
You're probably hoping for some go mode out of this, and of course he just womp womp gets the chime.
Well, that does unlock Sky as his alternative to Earth or Volcano. I honestly would think that Volcano and Earth and Sky are better than Earth, especially if you're looking for those those larger XP opponents to take down. This is a very good sign for him. He is going to ordeals.
Yep, so he is going to find his tail. It won't be... Well, of course it won't be progression. He's already in go mode, and he knows that. So he knows the tail is in ordeals with all the good post-promo gear and spells, because he saw Life 2 at level 7, for example. He's going to go pick that up and promote.
Yeah, and he might not even bother going to Lefane. The Superstore might be nice, but he knows that the Vorpal is going to be there, and if the Vorpal doesn't matter with that X-Cowl, the Katana already in hand, then why bother?
That is true. I mean, Lefane is a walk, so, you know, if you think he doesn't know that the Vorpal rolled +3, he could be thinking I'd be doing a long walk for a Vorpal -5, although Superstore is always tempting.
Syraniss taking advantage of that warp to backtrack behind some poor pillar choices. I did not actually check what pillar count and order we had here. Looks like it might just be a first pillar in the 4-pillar room, which is that is ever nice to see.
Yep, of course. I never personally expect it to be first pillar, so that'll be like, usually may have to be the last one I check, but it'll be the second or third usually.
The always interesting situation is when that 4-pillar room comes up early and you actually skip other rooms because it routes you right to the end. Now, Red D and Water blocking the dragon chest red dragon chest in Volcano Bottom as fcoughlin about to bounce himself out and take care of a snack lady.
Yep. Carrie hiding that wizard staff behind the traps so that no one confuses her, but fcoughlin found it anyway.
Well, thankfully for fcoughlin, this is not a bingo match and he doesn't have to get the confused carry square.
That's true, of course, it's always fun to do. It's not always the most time efficient. Yeah, time efficient, using some Cure 4s to heal up quickly instead of spending time burning heal pots.
Gotta use those spell casts when they're more relevant, and it's highly unlikely that that spell level is going to be used for anything else in this fight, at least for carry 1.
You see the knight is already swinging the X-Cal. 3 hits, 263, down goes carry 1, so even though it rolled -3 with that elemental bonus, that X-Cal could do some work, that is for sure.
And that is 2 orbs lit, Earth and Fire for fcoughlin as he goes to Earth, going to get that ruby, which is going to pick him up the quest chain for, I believe this is key.
Yes, and of course you'll also get that white shirt out of Titans, which going to be very valuable.
Most definitely. And Syraniss now promoted, getting his weapon selection worked around, getting, looks like the flame sword on his knight with the katana on the thief. Or the ninja now.
And again, he's also going away from the Wood Adept, which I like that because, you know, those things are going to hit you kind of hard. Knights aren't the most evasive
When you've
things.
got that premium promo armor, going full on tank with the knight makes the most sense in my opinion.
I agree. I mean, we really love to see Wood Adept is on that evasive ninja. Syraniss did not save before going into Mirage, or did I miss it?
He might have saved when he landed because he reset out of an Ankleo encounter, it looked like. But I cannot be sure. There's always those bits of lag and jitter in the stream. Either way, he has chosen to go Sky after getting the promotion. Did not go to Lepane first, doesn't have that Vorpal, but I do not blame him.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Like I said, you know the Vorpal is no sure thing. You know, he's thinking maybe I'll find the X-Cal, maybe I'll find Katana. You won't have to go out of the way for a Vorpal.
Adam Dropper, I do agree, going to get that grind in the eye, probably a good idea at this point, but still having 2 orbs to light, now having go mode, I do not blame Syraniss or choosing to push to get those orbs taken care of before going all the way back to Onrek, going to Waterfall. He also has the high probability of finding another potential grindable tile, say he finds those metal slimes, or a pack of waters that roll low. That could be an excellent solo grind option. Or pack grind, depending.
Yeah, decent experience. Syraniss taking down some red hydras, or hydrants as they're sometimes called.
It's always funny to see the racers play with the alternate funny names on the monsters.
Yes, it is. I think my favorite one is Wrong Eye, because boy is it the Wrong Eye for sure.
I personally like S-Bump.
Oh yes. But you have to not blink or you will not see that one.
Well, depending on this... Man, that 4-pack is not incentivized, but it is free to take as far as encounters once you're in that room. He did take CC's Gambit to get the incentivized or the better trap treasure that's in there that has no defensive tile.
And Syraniss on the Bridge of Destiny, will we see a Warmack? We won't see anything.
Clean encounters on that Bridge of Destiny as fcoughlin is sitting here in ice taking that mummy pack to get some grinding done on his team. But it looks like he is going down, getting the 6-pack potentially, and then working his way to the ruby.
I don't recall if... Yes, I remember now we did see that Aegis +2, so I wasn't sure if Syraniss had gotten to the 6-pack. But meanwhile, he's taking on Tiamat here, so... Got swing, nuke, fade, and what did the ninja do? Ninja's also swinging.
These low levels on those melee characters are definitely showing their effects, especially with the hit percentage debuff on that fighter. He has a negative 10 hit percentage. Must remember that.
The fade takes down Tiamat, so Syraniss is going to get his second orb lit.
As fcoughlin takes to the air, finally out of ice with his ruby. Now, this is interesting. Syraniss, knowing that he's got that fast encounter right off the reset, is looking for some stake, specifically the blue stake if he can find it, as a party or solo grind comparable or better than the eye tile without having to go all the way into ice. Right now he's just finding a lot of Ankleos.
Yes. And Ankleos are never something you want to find, period. So Syraniss looks like he is going to go to Lefane. He's going to pick up his Vorpal, maybe pick up some spells. He'll be pretty happy when he sees that Vorpal, but after not getting good damage output from Tiamat, I can see is like, you know what? My melee isn't too great. Let's check out this Vorpal. Hope it rolled up.
Set up the casters with spells, getting spells for that knight and that thief, or that ninja, would not hurt. Having a life caster, if he can get that on that knight, I believe level 1 spell 2, he should be able to get that.
A level 1 spell 2 is white locked, actually.
That is unfortunate.
And of course, we saw Life 2 was at level 7, so no knights with Life today, but we're going to have knights with Fade, Heal 2, or even Wall.
He did pick up Ruse, it looked like, so self-evasion buffing without relying on an evasion item.
Yep, that's always good to have. You can put, you know, the Ruse Staff or the Defense Sword if you find them on the Ninja.
And on fcoughlin side, he got the turn-ins, he's got the crown, he is gonna get his loot from Astos.
Yep, so that is go mode for fcoughlin. No, he doesn't have his key.
This is an
I saw that lit up.
extremely tight race.
Right. Syraniss continues to check out Lefane.
They find
and
that temper,
level 7 temper.
7. Some of the magic did not roll that friendly to them, but they've seen it and they've got what they need or want.
Yes, if you find the power bonk for level 7 temper doesn't hurt so much. I don't think we've seen that yet.
Now fcoughlin here is going to waterfall. At this point he knows that it's going to be the key or the crystal that leads to the key or the ribbon, I believe. Those are what he has not seen. And with that Oxyale in hand, he can go ahead and pick up the key and then straight line it. We know it's the key in here. Straight line it in, whack himself a Kraken, and head to Topher. But he'll also not only get the key, he will see that eye tile. And he may well just do some grinding on that eye tile while he's here.
Of course, even better than whacking the Kraken is bracking the Kraken, but fcoughlin doesn't have brack, so we'll just have to go with the whack.
We can only dream.
Yep. Of course, I think they both have the Bane Sword, so they could always do that.
Syraniss tried it until his thief got taken out.
Yeah, Kraken's like, that's enough. Don't be shooting that poison gas at me. And that had to be a miss menu. Rune +1 sword, which would have been nice a while ago, especially against Carrie.
Now this is interesting. That is an armor unequipped. There's some shuffling. It looks like Syraniss is taking this frosty grind as fcoughlin finds himself an eye.
So he's going to be pretty happy about that. Let's see if he stays in grinds. There's his key, so that is full go mode for fcoughlin.
And Syraniss looks like he is going to go ahead and go with Solo Ninja.
Which I don't think... Has he seen that katana course with the Vorpal +3? I would be tempted to just put that on the Ninja.
Well, he opted out of those Frosties. Hasn't re-equipped his armor or rearranged his party, though.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, I know what he's doing. The first Agama floor room here has that exact same tile in a safe encounter, so he is running down there, burning off his party's HP on these fire tiles along the way, and that way he will be able to... Oh, I am wrong in his choice then. I thought he was going for that later grind, but looks like he's just going straight down.
Maybe he was thinking about that, but fcoughlin eyeing a grind of his own in more ways than one.
Hardy har har.
Eyes aren't as best for the full party, but they're still pretty good.
I wouldn't doubt that Syraniss just went, wait a second, I know where the eye is, and he's just going to use this carry fight to potentially finish off the rest of his party, book it to the eye tile, and then go ahead and hit Topher afterwards.
Yes, that makes sense.
So far for both of our racers, it's the best thing that they've seen. And fcoughlin is actually exiting out. He's probably got enough levels on him that he's just going to say, I'll take care of Carry and then come right back. Or Kraken and come right back.
Yep, heading over to Onrak. He already knows what the magic here is. And Carry goes down for Syraniss.
That is all three of his unnecessary, for the moment, party members down. And okay, never mind. He's not going to bounce back to eye. He just used it to finish off his 3 party members, and now he's going to take that solo grind. Or at least check for possible tiles other than that before doing it.
Yep. Gargoyles, no. What I think gargoyles do is make you grind your teeth when they have some annoying script.
We had an FFR randomizer special there. fcoughlin pulled some lightning out, wiped out some enemies, and then got the run instead of sticking it out for the experience.
Yep, Syraniss is down. He's going to grind on those frosties. Having a little trouble hitting that evasive ninja.
That's true, and all things considered, this isn't that bad of experience for a solo grind, getting 2 frosties, hopefully on a regular basis. If he only gets 1, it's definitely an inferior grind to the eye.
Yeah, but 11,000 per for 2 of them, and he's one-shotting them, so this grind's going to go pretty quick. He's already at level 26. How high do you think you go if you're Syraniss grinding his ninja?
I mean, I don't know the breakpoints for it, but 6 swings with that katana would be quite handy, and he's at 4 right now.
I'd say keep going until you see 6 hits on there.
That thief had a plus 20 vitality, so by the time he gets 6 hits, he will have near fighter levels of, or knight levels of HP, which will make him quite resilient to late game magic and punches.
Yep, Jesus the Frog saying 6 hits, 400 HP, and they said both because, you know, 400 of course will be above nuke threshold.
Now, fcoughlin doing more searching on that seat, or on that floor, the Sharknado floor, than Syraniss did. It's about to pick up that katana on his way through, though. Or ribbon, I should say.
Ribbon.
That's the ribbon.
Yeah, katana was in Corneria locked. At least one of them was.
Yeah. I just remember there was a critical item here, but ribbon. Either way, that is a ribbon that he has gotten. He has not gotten the incentive ribbon, I do not believe.
I do not think so. That was... Wait, Toya, let me check our notes here. Yep. Toya had the ribbon, and I don't see the crystal in his inventory, so now that'll be his first ribbon, unless he found another loose one.
I've not seen that. That is level 33 for Syraniss and climbing. As fcoughlin gets out of Sharknado and makes his way to deal with the Kraken 1.
And we're getting at least 5 hits out of that katana. Now sometimes it's a little tricky to tell because the frosties can be a little evasive.
Now this is scary, just seeing that level, that damage, getting down below triple digits or life on that thief. Heal pots are there for a reason. He doesn't have that many of them, but it's enough to get it back up and continue the grind. Or not.
fcoughlin taking on Kraken, fight fast, fade, and lightning 3. 3 big damage there. Of course, didn't see the damage, but of course attack comes up before fast. Fade hits for 150. Kraken, it's like, look at me, I can cast spells. Ninja fast the fighter there. We have that elemental bonus on the Excalibur. Even if it's -3, that's the way to go. Looks like that ninja swinging the Vorpal, 3 hits for 133, and that's enough to prepare some sushi.
So it looks like Syraniss bailed out at level 33 on his ninja. He's re-equipping his armor here in Corneria, getting ready to buy up his remaining party members, and make his way to Topher, more than likely. If he needs more levels, he's probably just going to go ahead and grind him inside Topher itself.
Yep, Topher 3 can be a very good grind spot, so you can definitely get levels there, especially if you go in there, bounce out. Once I've seen it many times, runners will just go in and, you know, grind on Topher 3 for a while.
Yep, fcoughlin finally has his chance to come back to Corneria. You're going to check that Corneria lock, get that katana, and be very happy.
Yes, and also get the crystal that'll lead to the ribbon. Now, whether he wants to go out of the way for it. Oh, looks like he's not going to, he's in a hurry. He's not going to check all the chests, so he is going to miss that katana.
As Syraniss is already in Topher at 48-32 or 33, I totally understand feeling rushed at this point by fcoughlin. This has been a very fast seed. We've been seeing many a fast seed as of late.
Yes, we have. Of course, you know, he has the Excalibur. He has, you know, the Vorpal. He might feel pretty good about his weapons, you know. It's like, but where are the odds of the katana being there? Well, not great, but to find out, yeah, there was one. Of course, who knows? There could be one in the validation chest or something.
Very true. Have either of these runners checked the toe flock? I don't remember if they have or not.
I don't think we have. We had a Vanilla Phantom and Syraniss not checking the validation checks. Just go, 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 which I understand this has been, of course, when you have the floater from the king, you know it's going to be a fast seed. So that's one of the things got to be in the back of the runner's mind is like, my opponent's probably already in tow for, there's the opal bracelet for fcoughlin.
And he just reset out of it. He didn't have the room for it, didn't bother reshuffling. His gear is pretty high end across the board anyways. I don't blame him.
Yep, neither do I. So Syraniss on the earth floor heading towards the second speed bump.
Potentially more abrupt to the suspension of one's traveling vehicle, but I don't think they'll see much issue as long as that ninja with his level 33 can do enough slicey dicey.
All right, we have attack, 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 and fast. Fast on the ninja, which is like, look, I can attack, and the ninja's 12 hits, only 401, a little bit of a tanky Lich there, but 4 hits, 181, Lich 2 is still here for round 2. 4 hits, 224 from the Vorpal, and that's the end of Lich 2.
Well, fcoughlin skipping a 2-pack of gas Ds, but finds himself a 6-pack of metal slimes, and chooses to run away from those. It looks like he's happy with his levels, not going to try much of a running grind, saving his spells for the actual Fiend fights as he dives in. Syraniss, however, a floor ahead, or a Fiend ahead, pulling Kraken, or Carry 2.
Alright, White Shirt coming out from Syraniss trying to get up some evasion. Knights swings, 4 hits, about 233 it looked like. Carry replies Lightning 2, that's nothing. Ninja swing, 6 hits, looks like 110, so we might need a little more offense here. Swing, swing, wait, wait. Vorpal comes out, 4 hits, 166. Quadex comes out, goodbye, Black Mage. 12 hits, 415. He does in carry, so Syraniss is going to be onto the Kraken floor.
And Life Cast brings back up the Fire Mage, or the Black
Mage.
Mage.
And he does not have Life 2. Meanwhile, fcoughlin is slowing up a little, like he's approaching the speed bump, but he is past it now.
Not Life 2 in Gaia level 7. It's not too shocking he doesn't have it, but definitely may miss it.
Yeah. And they're saying absolutely most exciting game in all of America tonight. I agree. I don't know how any other in particular games are going, but this is definitely the most exciting one we hear. We have Syraniss approaching Kraken 2. We have fcoughlin approaching Carry 2. Anything can happen in Topher. We have Fight, Fade. I missed it, and looks like Fast. And of course, we attacked before we did Fast. The cat's Fade, so obviously not thrilled with his Knight's damage output, so going to the Fade option, that's pretty interesting.
Ice 2 not doing much except for that Black Mage, which evidently is not running a ribbon. I believe he shuffled that onto his White Caster and his Knight.
Yep. Meanwhile, Carrie says, I am going to save Kraken the trouble and back row your White Mage before I get nuked.
And there goes the Black Mage on Syraniss' side, this time to poison out of Kraken. Kraken has got some interesting spells and equipment.
Yes, but of course the best thing about when Kraken has interesting spells and skills is that means he's not attacking.
The punching sea life does not punch.
Syraniss brought back his Black Mage, is now healing him up, getting ready for Tier 2. Probably, almost certainly going to skip the Vanilla Masa chest because why would you? Attack, White Shirt Fast. As he comes out before the Fast again. Tia Blizzard, which only really damages the Black Mage, who obviously has no protection there. White Shirt comes out for Evasion. Attack, and the other side, fcoughlin is about to start Kraken 2. We've got simultaneous Fiends again.
Both of these racers breathing down, or one breathing down the neck of the other. And Nuclear coming out of Tia. Again, the only one going down on Syraniss' side is that Black Mage with the lack of magical defense.
Yep, the Black Mage is probably pretty well associated with the floor and how it tastes from the looks of it.
Very much missing the ribbon, having not been able to equip that.
The Kraken 2 is like, wait, that white mage is already down? What do I do in this battle? I'm just going to cast spells.
And Syraniss is through, so that is the first look at Chaos coming up on Syraniss' side as fcoughlin is dealing with the Kraken.
None of the brothers talk to the hint bat, so we don't know if Chaos might have a Cure 4 or a nuke or something nasty, of course. A nuke wouldn't be so much of a worry for Syraniss because both his knight and his ninja can take a few nukes. Or at least take one nuke.
Now shifting around that white shirt up onto his knight and then moving his white caster forward as the meat shield for the party. That is an interesting shift personally, I probably would put the black caster forward and not relied on nuke, but it really depends on how the runner wants to run it.
Yep, what he wants is, of course, maybe to get the double evasion stack, but Chaos says, I don't think so. The Kraken left that white mage up, not for long. Knight comes out, gets the Invis 2, though. I think that's one thing he probably wanted to have the Invis 2 shots, regardless, but of course now he has no Cure 4. Coughlin, meanwhile, is on Tia 2, using one of his temper spells. I didn't see how much that Xcal hit for, but it wasn't much.
We just saw 10 hits for about 400 damage coming out of Syraniss. His party, I believe it was a ninja swinging. And that is the black caster stunned. There is nothing coming out of that caster. It is a 2-man until that black caster wakes back up.
Yes, if that black caster wakes back up.
A very big if. 10 hits for 315 damage there, and
Cure 4, then Syraniss
happened?
reset.
I have no idea what happened there. Was that a mistake on Syraniss' side, or did he just
good
feel
question,
like
but I did see briefly Cure 4 came out of Chaos.
Oh, that without the black caster for buffing and cast of spells to try and compensate for that could definitely have caused some issues. But as Syraniss is rediving, fcoughlin has made his way into Chaos floor and is about to pull Chaos for himself.
Yep, so he's going to find out the news about that Cure 4. Swapping around, putting the Vorpal on the Knight, and what's he going to put on the Ninja? The Mighty Silver +4 axe, which of course, Chaos always quakes when he sees those.
I'm not sure about that weapon selection, but right now fcoughlin has the best chance to get the win here with the 4 Fiend lead that Syraniss has now seated him.
Yep, of course, fcoughlin was right near the katana and didn't get it, and now of course the Xcal doesn't do much with Chaos. He's going to use the Ninja as an evasion caster, which same strategy Syraniss used against Chaos, except with the Knight.
And just like the Syraniss, the black mage is very much limping.
Yep. Says, I don't like the idea of you guys buffing. Meanwhile, Syraniss, there is a speed bump that has ink packets in it, squirting them out at him. Knight's like, no, take this, and does 2 hits, 84 damage? Or is it? Ninja says, take this, 12 hits, something like 740, and speed bump 2 is gone.
As Syraniss makes his way towards that firefight again, fcoughlin getting those white stacks, or that white shirt stacks up for the evasion, multiple tempers out from that black mage. That's 500 plus damage on that swing with that Vorpal.
Yep. I don't know if fcoghlin's seen that Cure 4 yet, but in his situation, I would keep on going with the Cure 4. I'm not even sure with, well, they don't have the power bonk, so I still think, it can be 8 more spellcasts before Chaos goes back around to the Cure 4. Was that, I think maybe that reset was premature. I mean, I can understand that being something of a reaction, but
we will have to ask at her in there, but that was a lock cast from that ninja and swing for over 700 damage from the fighter. fcoughlin doing a good amount of damage for reasonably fast in this fight as Carry 2 goes down on Syraniss' side.
Yep, and of course fcoughlin just saw the Cure 4. He's just going melee all he can, do as much damage as we can before Cure 4 comes around again, which, if Chaos isn't that spell hap. Speaking of spells,
there is the nuke, putting that ninja on a knee, but those 8 hits for nearly 500 damage, if he gets that consistent damage out, using those heal strats or the pot strats on that fighter to keep it up, this could be enough damage fast enough to compensate for that giant chunk of healing.
Yep, meanwhile, we're doing drink sets on fcoughlin side. We seem to have lost Syranniss's stream.
And that is a GG for fcoughlin. Unfortunately, Syraniss seeing that victory to forfeit. That gives fcoughlin the victory with the kill on Chaos at 58 minutes 27 seconds. Our race time.gg time for this game.
Alrighty, we'll see if either of our runners want to come in here. And Lord of the Synth, he may have cut stream and discarded delay. Yes, that is true. We've seen that a few times. So nobody's in the waiting room yet. So
got another sub-hour game, and it really was to the end a tight match.
Yes, it
was. Love to find out what happened here. It looks like Syraniss is about ready to join us. Let me go ahead and grab him. Well played, Syraniss. Definitely not the best way to end it, but you really would love to hear what happened there.
I have the reset button bound to the shoulder buttons on my controller, and I was shifting in my seat as I was moving my mouse over to click on the done, thinking I was going to be done soon, and I just shifted wrong and bumped it. It happens.
We were thinking you saw that Cure 4 and went, oh, I don't have the black cast, and I didn't get enough buffs, but
I had one temper out, and I was hitting for like 500. The Cure 4 would have been a setback, but I mean, I wasn't that worried about it.
Either way, if one thing went wrong on fcoughlin side, you could have been right back in it. Your levels, your equipment were all there.
Yeah, I went in for the second dive knowing it's like, all right, I still have a shot. Calm down, keep going. But no, he ran a hell of a race.
And speaking of fcoughlin, GG, that is your victory. You are on into the round of 16.
Oh, thank you. Great race there, Syraniss. I'm sorry it ended that way, but wow. Sounds like it was at least a close one.
Me too. It did. It looked like it was really close because I'm not sure if the timers were right. It looked like yours might have been a little bit delayed.
Part of the problem is I've dropped 40% of my frames during this entire race. So it's certainly possible there was some buffering going on with that side and delaying things out there a bit.
Up until that reset at Chaos, that was a one fiend lead in Topher, so it was very tight in the end.
So, Floater from the King, what did you guys think when you saw that?
Ugh, not another jet seed.
I was basically in panic mode. Not gonna lie about that.
Well, just like with the race yesterday where Fizzlebeef rolled first item floater for Danny's match, it turned into you still had to search pretty much everything just to get it done.
Yeah, I really wanted that tail.
I got that one early. It was a matter of finding the loot and the key for me. That was really the downside there. Is I ended up making an earlier plan to ordeals, but just did not have the. I think as soon as I had to exit or something like that, I went in there. But it took me forever to find the key and everything else there.
That really was part of the routing differences, because Syraniss, you did get that key and ended up with that loot sooner. You were in go mode, just searching for that tail. And another thing I should note is fcoughlin, you missed the katana by skipping straight to the crystal and Canaria locked.
Oh, of course I did. Well, at that point, I felt I was behind because I'd full cleared everything, and I've seen just how good from these 3 matches, how good Syraniss is. And pretty much it's I gotta move. I don't have any other options at that point. So I said, let me go in. I had Vorpal and Excal, and I said, that's gonna be good enough. Katana's really not gonna help too much. I mean, I guess it could if it was like a gigantically strong katana. But with the +3 on the Vorpal, I was like, it's gonna be at least good enough to get me through Topher with punching. So I said, yep, gotta push it.
As we know, you really did, because it was that close.
Yeah, as I said, Syraniss has proven just how good he is on all of these. Basically consistent strong play, and I knew it was going to be a rough one. So I'm glad I got to play you there, Syraniss. Sorry again to the broadcast team for the slideshow I was sending y'all.
Well, slideshow or not, it was a well-run race.
Yes, it was. So, Coughlin, you are facing Ale in the next round. What are you thinking about that?
Oh, I'm scared. I don't know a lot about the FFR community yet up to this point. So, but clearly Ale is someone who has made it now to the round of 16. So clearly cannot be a slouch at this. So, just hoping it's going to be a fun series there. And as I've said it before, but pretty much at this point, with this being the first tourney I've been in for FFR, I'm playing on borrowed time at this point. So gonna probably do some film study, try to see what I can learn, and try to just give Ale the best possible game I can.
Well, being your first tournament in, you are definitely making a good representation for yourself, and we welcome you into the community for future events.
Well, thank you. As I said, I have good base knowledge of the game thanks to to regular speed runs, but it's been fun learning all the additional crazy stuff that this tournament has, and that the randomizer has, and seeing it all in action.
Yeah, I don't feel bad. You've probably forgotten more about the original game than I've known.
Well, the main issue for me is that I know how to make my fighter dance and kill everyone, while the remaining 3 fighters lay dead on the ground behind him because of all the manipulation stuff. So I know the engine behind the game incredibly well, but I don't always remember enough about where everything is and some of the tactics that aren't involved with that. Although I'm trying to take this all into mind and trying to figure out if there are things I can do to try to improve that manipulated run a little bit more.
Sounds like you're thinking from a task point of view more than just a gameplay make it through point of view.
I mean, I'm pretty much the speed run that I've done is fully manipulated until you get to tier 2. So it is kind of to a degree task level. It's just human level tasks, and then you hope for 2 Bane swords in a row based on audio timing.
I'd say you've got 99.9% of people beat with that kind of understanding of the game mechanics. I am very much in awe of you at the moment.
That is impressive.
Well, thanks. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out how to improve that. It's at 205 and so right now, and I'm like, there's got to be ways to push it down. So we'll see. If after this tournament's done, that's probably a project I think I'm going to lean towards, is going back and trying to work on that vanilla some more.
Well,
but that's not yet.
Sorry. Well, speaking of the tournament, you are on to the round of 16. One thing to note is there will be first game streams for the first round of 16. Now that we've got a shorter number of competitors, we have more capability of streaming those matches. So no more first game matches or first games without the pressure of an audience watching. Do you think you're ready for that?
Who knows?
That is actually still up in the air too. They may go one more round without first rounds being aired.
That's a lot of games. It's definitely a I mean, anything that they're able to get on there, is just extra bonus stuff. It's great to get to watch all these matches because it's really cool seeing how the strategies evolve and how different players do different things. It's even fun watching like a game 2 versus a game 3, just seeing that little difference in gameplay. So it's exciting to see, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it works out, whether we see that this round or next round. It should be awesome.
For sure. I knew I had to turn it up and be a little more aggressive tonight. Friday I was a little passive, but the spells just didn't work out tonight.
They were some rough spells. I mean, the punching spells were much later in, so you couldn't even no tempers, no sabers for the ninja. I didn't even find a power glove. I don't know if you did, but
I did not either.
Yeah.
I went my Topher dive. I had 2 tempers, and that was it. It's like I'm gonna need to conserve those. I'm gonna need these.
Yeah, I was lucky enough. I either had 3 or 4. I forget how many, just because my full party stayed alive. I think the entire game. Maybe one character went down at some point, but I don't even think that happened. So, I mean, I ended upper 20s, I want to say, in the end, but it was enough that I had 3 or 4. Anytime I saw the Wiz Mummy pack, I spent a couple minutes fire 3ing and nuking to try to build up some experience there quickly. And so at least I had the extra shot or 2 of temper, which may have Who knows if that would have made the difference or not there at the end. I think you still would have had me, but it would have been, at least would have been close.
I'd like to
A
say,
great
I'm
race
impressed
there.
you could go back to the vanilla speed after playing the randomizer, but
Oh,
Syraniss, this is...
it's going to be tough.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's just going to be tough to do that now.
It is.
Yeah,
I
we've
couldn't go
run
back to
one or
vanilla.
two tournaments where we don't use the speed hacks, and a lot of people just don't want to play those races.
Can't imagine why.
Why is this boat so slow?
Oh, not the boat, just the walking and the combat and just everything it's like molasses.
That's being generous. But Syraniss, your last game of the tournament, what are your thoughts on it?
It's not how I wanted to go out, but I had a great time. I always enjoy these tournaments. I'll be looking forward to the next one as always, and looking forward to maybe getting a chance at revenge down the road.
I would love it, especially with how well you've been playing. I'd love to go on a longer series and another tournament with you. So I'm hoping we'll run into each other now.
Same.
A great race again. Thank you so much for that.
I'll be cheering you on against Ale next week.
Okay, well with that, we can go ahead and get into final thoughts. Anyone up for a talk there?
I mean, I just take a moment here to say thank you to those of you who helped run this here with you, Classic, and Thavian with ADR behind the scenes on the restream and with the tracking and everything. Thank you to all of you for putting on the show here. And it's been a blast. Looking forward to more action. And again, great race there, Syraniss. Sorry it ended that way. I'm really sorry it ended that way, but it was a fun series with you.
Okay, Classic, you want to lead us out?
Did we give Syraniss a chance for final thoughts?
You got me. Mostly just the same. As always, thank you to all the race crew out there. Y'all do an amazing job. I really hope that you all get a little bit of a week off this week going into the final stretch.
Alrighty, well, thank you. Of course, if you liked what you saw and you're curious to learn more about this randomizer, whether you know the original game or not, you feel to check out our Discord. The link is actually up on the chat. We're a very welcoming community. You can learn to race. You can play casually. You can play the game in ways you never thought it could be played, or ways you wish it could have been played, including all the bug fixes. And for those who are wanting to learn to race, I think we have something coming up just for them, don't we?
That would be the Duckling Derby following this event. The Duckling program, for those that you do not know, is a group for new players of the game to join up in the community on the FFR Discord, which we can get training from the current active players in the community to learn the ins and outs of the game, and eventually with the Duckling Derby compete in our own races with other racers, similar skill levels, get better as we go, and just enjoy the activity, and eventually maybe even join into bigger events like this.
Alrighty, well, that's all I had. You want to take us home, Thavian?
Well, for myself, Classic Gamer, ADR, and the entire Final Fantasy Randomizers community, that is all for the round of 32 tonight. I do believe there is another match tonight with Ravioli and Shanigan cracking off the round of 16, although I do not know if it's being restreamed. I do look forward to that match if it is. Feel free to check with the Discord or FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. You can find under the wiki the schedule for these races. Otherwise, thank you very much for tuning in, and y'all have a very good day.